since 2023 is coming to an end, I think I'll wrap this up with a concept I thought about for a long time, but never got the chance to share it to y'all. That is, what if Misty could be a relative or descendant of the Sirens? This idea I thought about first started as a joke for a post and then a huge theory, until recently I thought to just consider it as just a fun idea I had instead of some deep theory to be taken seriously. But I do wanted to explain why and how I came up with this concept, so let's begin. So back between 9 and 10 months ago, I thought that Misty and Sonata are strangely similar characters. They're both cute blue ditzy characters who serve or live with the main villain, who also don't seem to be that evil themselves. Plus, both of them can be dumb or clumsy at times and have a weird obsession with food.
But we can get lunch after though, right? It's Taco Tuesday!
Just follow my lead.
I say, every time I eat it, cause I eat it all the time, or did, when I lived in Bridalwood all my life.
It's like both of them are almost the same characters but in different situations. One is the annoying sister of two sirens and the other is a abused orphan. And when I started doing more analyzing about Misty's characteristics, it all starts to become stranger and interesting. So let's begin with the further analyzing, which was what my concept was mainly based on. Like I said before, Misty and Sonata share a very similar tone of blue for their skin colors, and she also shares Sonata's dark blue secondary hair color for her main hair color. And as mentioned before, they both share similar personalities. And that's pretty much where their similarities end, until I started to compare her to the rest of the Sirens. With Adagio, they both share very similar big curly hairstyles. And as for Aria, not only do they share a very similar cyan tone for their secondary hair colors, but Misty's light purple highlights look strangely similar to Aria's skin tone. Like pretty much almost every feature of Misty matches in some way with one of the Sirens. Like if she's some weird hybrid between all three of them. Like almost everything matches until you get to the eyes, which nobody seems to have any similar eye colors to hers. But when doing some research and rewatching Rainbow Rocks again, I have noticed something interesting. One thing to address is that the Sirens had quite various and inconsistent eye colors a few times, but there's one color that associates them the most: green. The color green seems to appear a lot when symbolizing the negative energy from others that gets collected by the Sirens, and more than once have the Sirens been depicted and seen with green eyes. So the green eyes pretty much symbolizes and represents the three Sirens and negative energy. And that's pretty much all I can say to this idea that is close to reasonable. I don't really think there's anything else to go further with this idea, but here's a quick story I thought about just as a what if. So imagine the Sirens did eventually make it out of the human world, and maybe have something to do with the pony race's departure, since turning everyone against each other is what they're best at. And then many years later, after magic disappeared, they have been thinking about their next plan forward. Maybe one of them being the creation of Misty. One day, Sonata was going to Bridalwood, either intentionally by their plan, or just went there without the sisters knowing about it. There she met Alphabettle and they both fell for each other. Alphabettle kept their relationship a secret until they got a daughter together. And like in every love story between the mortal and immortal, she had to abandon Alphabettle and their daughter Misty. And that's pretty much the story that I can think of. Funnily enough, I have thought about this story back before chapter 4 when it still was a theory. So it's quite surprising at least the theory with Alphabettle being the father was at least true. But that's definitely because it had more reasonable support from others. But besides that, there really isn't anything else to be taken seriously, since the whole thing is only based around the character's characteristics and nothing else besides that. You can pretty much do that with any other character between G5 and G4, and still have a vague and overly convoluted explanation besides characteristics that sound more like fan fiction or conspiracy. I mean, I tried to make the theory sound more believable, but ended up rewriting it all cause I don't want to sound like a crazy person. But either way, I still think it's a fun idea based on a huge coincidence that would be cool for a story, for a what if Misty is related to the Sirens. But I don't think it'd be something G5 would do, and even if they did, I highly doubt they will do it right when looking at their other G4 related stuff. Like it'd be something I would rather do it myself, but who knows. Anyways, I hope y'all like this concept of mine and share me some of your ideas and theories on G5 and G4. So that's it for the video and wish y'all a happy new year.